I'm going to share with you two spine-tingling Ouija board legends that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Ouija boards have been a source of fascination for people all over the world for generations. These mysterious boards, adorned with letters and symbols, seem to hold a secret. Why do people feel drawn to them, despite the ominous warnings and eerie feelings that linger around them? As we delve into the world of Ouija boards, we'll explore the darker side of human curiosity and the unexplained events that have left people shaken. There's something unsettling about the idea of communicating with the other side, and yet we're intrigued by the possibility of making contact with entities beyond our world. Perhaps it's the thrill of the unknown, the promise of unlocking secrets that have been hidden for centuries. Whatever the reason, Ouija boards have a way of captivating us, drawing us in with an otherworldly allure that's hard to resist. As we explore the legends that surround these boards, we'll venture into the heart of darkness, where the lines between reality and the supernatural become blurred. Prepare to have your perceptions challenged, your beliefs shaken, and your curiosity piqued. From haunted houses to possessed souls, the stories that surround Ouija boards are the stuff of nightmares. So if you're ready to face the unknown, to confront the darkness that lurks within, then join me on this journey into the heart of terror. In the sleepy town of Belle Grove, Virginia, a family would unwittingly unleash a malevolent force that would change their lives forever. It was the early 1970s, and the Perron family had just moved into a beautiful old farmhouse, unaware of the dark history that came with it. As they began to settle in, strange occurrences started to happen. Doors creaking open, objects moving on their own, and an eerie feeling of being watched. At first, they dismissed it as the typical creaks and groans of an old house. But soon, the events became more frequent, more intense. It was then that they stumbled upon an old Ouija board in the attic, hidden away for years. The board, with its intricate design and mysterious symbols, seemed to be calling to them, beckoning them to make contact. Without hesitation, the Perron children, Andrea and Nancy, began to use the board, hoping to make contact with spirits that lingered in their home. At first, the responses were cryptic, vague messages that seemed to come from nowhere. But as they continued to use the board, the messages became more sinister, more threatening. It started with small things, a knocking on the wall, a faint whisper in the ear. But soon, the activity escalated, and the family found themselves face to face with an evil entity that would stop at nothing to claim their souls. The Perron family was in the grip of a malevolent force, and they didn't know how to escape. As the events unfolded, the family began to experience strange and terrifying phenomena, unexplained noises, moving shadows, and ghostly apparitions. It was as if the entity had taken control, manipulating the environment to instill fear and panic. The Perron family was trapped in a living nightmare, and they didn't know how to wake up. The most shocking moment came when Andrea, the eldest daughter, began to experience strange and terrifying visions. She would see the entity, a dark and foreboding figure, lurking in the shadows, watching her. The visions were so vivid, so real, that she began to question even her own sanity. The Perron family was at a breaking point, unsure of how to deal with the evil force that had taken over their lives. They tried to seek help, but no one believed them. They were alone, fighting a battle against an enemy they couldn't see. In desperation, they turned to a pair of paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren, who were known for their expertise in the supernatural. The Warrens arrived at the Perron household, armed with equipment and a deep understanding of the unknown. As they delved deeper into the mystery, they discovered that the entity was an ancient spirit, one that had been awakened by the Ouija board. The spirit, known as Bathsheba, was a malevolent force that had been responsible for numerous deaths and tragedies throughout history. The Warrens worked tirelessly to rid the Perron family of the evil entity, performing exorcisms and rituals to cleanse the house of this dark energy. But as they fought to save the family, they realized that they were in over their heads. Bathsheba was a powerful force, one that wouldn't easily be defeated. But in the end, it was a long and grueling battle, but the Perron family was finally able to escape the clutches of Bathsheba. They fled the house, leaving behind the evil entity and the Ouija board that had brought it into their lives. But the legend of the Perron family didn't end there. It was only the beginning, a chapter in a larger story that would connect them to another family, another tragedy. As we move on to the next legend, we'll see how the threads of fate are intertwined, how the use of the Ouija board can have devastating consequences. In the small town of Culver City, California, a group of friends would stumble upon an ancient ritual, one that would unleash a terror beyond their wildest imagination. The year was 1996, and the group of friends, all in their early 20s, had gathered at a local hangout, a secluded spot in the woods. As they sat around a roaring fire, swapping stories and sharing laughs, one of them pulled out an old Ouija board. It was an impromptu decision, one that would change their lives forever. Without hesitation, they began to use the board, asking questions and seeking answers to life's mysteries. At first, the responses were vague, but as they continued to use the board, the messages became more specific, more sinister. It was then that they realized they had made contact with an entity, one that was determined to make its presence known. As the night wore on, the group of friends began to experience strange and terrifying phenomena, unexplained noises, moving shadows, and ghostly apparitions. It was as if the entity had taken control, manipulating the environment to instill fear and panic. The most shocking moment came when one of the friends, a quiet and reserved girl named Sarah, began to experience strange and terrifying visions. She would see the entity, a dark and foreboding figure, lurking in the shadows, watching her. The visions were so vivid, so real, that she began to question her own sanity. As the group of friends struggled to come to terms with the horror they had unleashed, they realized that they had stumbled upon an ancient ritual, one that was meant to awaken a powerful entity. The ritual, known as the ceremony of the damned, was an ancient rite, one that was meant to summon a powerful demon. The group of friends was in the grip of a malevolent force, and they didn't know how to escape. They tried to flee, but it was too late. The entity had already taken control, manipulating their minds and bending them to its will. In the end, it was a tragedy that would haunt the town of Culver City for years to come. The group of friends was never seen or heard from again, and the Ouija board was left behind, a haunting reminder of the terror that they had unleashed. As we delve deeper into the world of Ouija boards, we begin to see a pattern of tragedy, of terror, of lives forever changed. The use of the Ouija boards is a dangerous game, one that can have devastating consequences. But what can we learn from these legends? What can we take away from these stories of horror and tragedy? As we reflect on the mysteries of the Ouija board, we're reminded that there are forces beyond our understanding, forces that can wreak havoc on our lives. Perhaps the most important lesson we can learn is to approach the unknown with caution, to respect the secrets that lie beyond our world. The Ouija board is not a toy, not a game. It's a gateway to the unknown, portal to forces that can destroy us. So, as we conclude this journey into the heart of terror, I want to ask you, have you ever had a Ouija board experience that left you shaken? Share your stories in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our next video, where we'll explore more mysteries of the unknown. Thanks for watching.